to those nights, my horror night.
Welcome to the last video store. I'm your host, Bud Haddonfield, and I'm at the bottom of Louisiana. We're about to have a freeze. Snow, we don't ever get much of that. We might get snow every decade or two, and it's usually like a little bit and it's gone by the time the sun comes up. But this time it's supposed to be a little bit more than expected. So I hope each and every one of you are staying warm. And I had the good idea to talk about a few snowy horror movies just to get you in the proper mood. Like I said, I hope you're all safe. If you have power, hopefully you can watch some of these snowy horror movies that you haven't seen before. I wanted to not talk about some of the big ones, but one of them I just had to because it's one of the best winter horror movies. And I'm not going to include any Christmas horror movies, but just any of them that take place in a snowy environment. First one I want to talk about is John Carpenter's The Thing. Yes, this is a big movie. It wasn't as big when it first came out. It actually bombed the theater, and it didn't get successful until later on with home media and all the constant reruns. This is an excellent movie. I absolutely love it. I just had to include it because it's like the ultimate snowy horror movie. If you haven't seen The Thing, it's about these men that's out in Antarctica outpost doing some research, and they discover an alien that can shift and mutate and take on the form of anything and everything. So The Thing is absolutely amazing, and you should definitely check it out if you haven't.
Mayday. Mayday. Anyone hear me? Over. This is U.S. Station 31. You read me? Found something in the ice. We need some help down here. Can anybody hear me? We found something. We found something. We found something.
12 men have just discovered something. For 100,000 years, it was buried in the snow and ice. Now it has found a place to live. Inside. Where no one can see it, or hear it, or feel it.
I know I'm human. Some of you are still human. This thing doesn't want to show itself. It wants to hide inside an imitation. It'll fight if it has to, but it's vulnerable out in the open. If it takes us over, then it has no more enemies. Nobody left to kill it. And then it's won.
You guys gonna listen to Gary? He can beat one of those things!
'So the next one on my list is a underrated movie that not a lot of people talk about. It's a slasher from the late 80s, and it is Iced. Ice was one of those movies that had got lost on VHS. It had like an underground following. Vinegar Syndrome is just putting out the Blu-ray for the first time. This is a high-end bootleg that I was able to get online. But this is a really cool horror slasher movie that takes place at a skiing resort. And the killer has like the skiing mask on, and it's absolutely fun. It's cheesy, it's bad, but it's good bad. So check out Iced.
What do you say, Corey? One last race, just you and me.
What do you say you back off already, Jeff?
No, you back off. She's with me.
Hey, when was the last time? We went skiing.
Not since that weekend with Jeff Stinson.
I thought the guy had a few loose screws, but I didn't think he was suicidal, though.
Pardon me for saying this, but you all look prepared for a funeral, or worse. Relax.
More snow.
Jeanette? What do you think you're doing out there? Would you two just please both be my friends for 5 minutes and help me with this?
Following in the vein of Iced, I have another slasher horror movie that takes place in the snowy atmosphere. But this one comes about almost 20 years later, and it is the early 2000s Shredder. And it's pretty much the exact same thing. We get Scott Winger, who was one of the guys from Full House, and he did the voice of Aladdin. Him and his friends and girlfriend go to this abandoned ski resort, and somebody in a skiing outfit starts killing them off one by one. This one's very cheesy, but this one also is a lot of fun, and I definitely recommend it. Like I said, it's bad early 2000s, but it's one of those that you could sit and enjoy and laugh and not take life so serious sometimes. So this one does have a Blu-ray. The DVD, I think, is still in print, and you can find it streaming on Amazon Prime, and I think it's also like on Tubi and YouTube. So if you have access to Shredder, watch Shredder.
You fellas ain't heading up to Rocky Summit now, are you? According to the legend, it's haunted. Listen to me. Stay away from Rocky Summit. It's dangerous. Evil.
This place is scary, but it's not deadly, right?
They say the ghost of the little girl still wanders the slopes, seeking revenge.
You are quite the bad boy.
We are gonna shred until we're dead!
You know, we never caught the killer, so you gotta get out. No!
The next time we're being stalked by a serial killer, do not go into the basement.
Come and get me!
All right, this is another one that not a lot of people talk about, and it is Trapped Alive. This one has Cameron Mitchell. He was an older actor who was in a bunch of things, and towards the end of his career, he did a lot of lower budget horror movies. So it's about these 2 or 3 girls, I think it's 2 girls, they're going to some kind of party, and these 3 either escape inmates or armed robbers that's on the run take them hostage, and they somehow end up in this mine, this abandoned mine, and there's something lurking in the mine, and it's this creepy looking character. I'm not going to give too much of it away, but it has like this hook that lowers and grabs you. This one's a whole lot of fun. Arrowhead, the goddamn glare. Arrowhead did a Blu-ray of it a couple years back. I believe it's still in print, and you can find this one streaming on YouTube. It's definitely cheesy. It gives that that late 80s vibe. 1988, so that's perfect. Not a lot of recognizable actors. Like I said, you do get Cameron Mitchell, and you're gonna see who he is if you've seen some movies that he's in. But this one's a whole lot of cheesy fun too. So, Trapped Alive.
Coming soon from AIP Home Video. Suspense runs rampant in this spine-tingling thriller where a remote snowbound wilderness becomes the setting for a night of terror. Trapped Alive. On their way to a party one Christmas, Robin and Monica are abducted by 3 escaped convicts.
They never arrived.
When the young getaway driver tries to avoid a police roadblock, he turns into the site of a long-closed mine. The group must somehow find their way out of the maze of tunnels. And away from the unseen evil which lives in the mind. And hunts its prey.
We're trapped.
Now, the nightmare begins.
Please don't leave me here.
There's nothing you can do for him now.
There's evil underground. Featuring international film star Cameron Mitchell. Trapped Alive. Coming soon from AIP.
So the next movie I'm going to talk about is a Nazi zombie movie, and it is Dead Snow. This is a Norwegian film. I believe the original title was Dead Snow, and it was directed by Tommy Wirkola, who went on to do the sequel. He did Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunter and Violent Night, which was a cool little Christmas movie. This one's absolutely fun. It's in the Norwegian language, which nothing wrong with reading subtitles. The sequel's in the English language, but this one's a whole lot of coolness. Coolness is definitely a word. Nazi zombies killing people off. What else can I say? It's gory, it's fun. The zombies looked really cool. They're in the snow, so it's on par. Evan, have you ever seen this movie?
No.
You need to check it out.
Okay.
What is your favorite zombie movie?
Did I count?
Sure.
Army of Darkness.
Army of Darkness. What is your favorite snowy movie?
Jack Frost.
Jack Frost. The one with Michael Keaton? Or the one directed by Michael Cooney?
Who?
Michael Cooney did the horror version.
That one.
That one. You heard it, folks. That one.
Klart! Ferdig! Gå!
Jeg regner med at dere små bortskjemte snørrvalper ikke har giddet å lese litt lokalhistorie om området her før dere kommer valsende inn på den helvetes nedtraktoren deres. Under annen verdenskrig så var Østen en utrolig viktig plass for tyskerne. Det var en holdeplass for tyske krigsskip. Folk ble torturert og banket og mishandlet hver eneste dag. Tro meg når jeg sier det. Det her var onde satans jævla. Se der.
Du vet hva vi må gjøre, ikke sant?
So this next movie right here, this is another one that not a lot of people talk about, and it's like a combination of possession slasher movie, and it is The Chill Factor. I think one of the other titles is Demon Possessed or something like that. Yeah, Demon Possessed. But it's another horror movie where these skiers are getting picked off one by one by somebody possessed by a demon in a slasher motif. So Arrow also did the Blu-ray of this one. This one's still in print. You can find this one on YouTube, and I think it's still streaming on Tubi. This one's not as bad. It gets a lot of flack, but I thought it was a whole lot of fun. And this was another one that came out in the late 80s, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see if I can see a year on the back of here. 1989, so a year after Trapped Alive. So check out Chill Factor, also known as Demon Possessed.
Coming soon from AIP Home Video. Demon Possessed. 3 college couples take a snowmobiling break in a remote Northwoods location.
Ooh, some tough guy.
After a drag race ends abruptly in a crash. They search for shelter, finding a boarded-up children's camp, once run by a murderous religious order.
Keep the beast in the field. When the Bible says the beast, it means the devil.
And an innocent game with an ancient Ouija board activates the demonic spirit of the camp, which possesses the injured student.
I told you it wasn't a toy, damn you!
What happened here? It could happen again if the killer isn't put away.
One by one, the students succumb to the demon's fiendishly original mayhem. Unleashing the horror of a night of murder.
Please, no!
It's going to be a cold day in hell. Demon Possessed. Coming soon from AIP Home Video.
Moving along to Ice Spiders. This one was a mid-2000s, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 2006. It's exactly what it sounds like. We get some skiers at a ski resort getting killed off one by one by ice spiders. The guy from Starship Troopers, Patrick Muldoon, Casper Van Dieten's rival. Calm down, boy. He's the star of this movie. We also get Vanessa Williams and Stephen J. Chanel. He made a lot of TV shows in the 70s and the 80s, so he's definitely recognizable. He's the older actor in this movie. And this one's directed by Tibor Takakis. I ain't gonna be able to pronounce that correctly. But this guy is the guy who directed The Gate and The Gate 2, and those were both pretty much iconic films. The first one was really good. The second one was not so bad. But Ice Spiders is cheesy, mid-2000s CGI fun. So check this one out too.
Spiders didn't like the cold.
They must have a higher resistance than I thought.
You accelerated the growth rate.
In a secret government lab,
let's move out.
Giant spiders have escaped. And these Olympic hopefuls are entangled in a deadly web.
No! They're killing everyone!
We have to get more soldiers up here now.
Regent presents The Next Level in Terror. Patrick Muldoon, Vanessa Williams, Thomas Calabro, David Milburn, and Stephen J. Cannell. Ice Spiders.
You're out. He's coming back.
So continuing with CGI cheesiness, I'm going with Avalanche Sharks. This movie is absolutely ridiculous. It's about these genetic ghost sharks or whatever it may be that's in the snow, killing off skiers and whatnot. Like I said, this one's very ridiculous, but it's fun and it gives the cool snowy atmosphere. There's not much I could say about this movie. This one came out a few years after Ice Spiders, I think 2013. This one you could find, I think it's streaming pretty much on everything, but give Avalanche Sharks a chance.
It was supposed to be a week of chilling out.
It's spring break, Sheriff. Yeah, everything goes.
But when an ancient predator is disturbed from slumber...
So you know there's a story around here about a mystical creature summoned to protect the mountains. They say it swims through like a shark.
The hell?
What started out as a mammoth vacation is about to go downhill fast.
Oh, crap.
Get out! Now!
There's nowhere to hide! They've tasted human flesh!
What happened? Sharks, man!
Now, if they're going to make it off the mountain in one piece...
They swim through the snow like other sharks move through water.
They'll have to fight back or become shark bait.
Get inside! Come on, right here!
Snow's gonna run red with your blood.
In the coolest action horror adventure that will have you scared stiff.
It's time to claim your prize.
Avalanche Sharks. Snow bunnies. Better watch out.
So the next two movies on my list are Yeti movies, Abominable Snowmans. They don't always get the respect that they deserve. I love a good Bigfoot / Yeti, Abominable Snowman horror movies. And the first one I'm going to talk about is Shriek of the Mutilated. This movie is absolutely bananas. A lot of things that don't fit within the story, but it comes together for cool late night 70s fun. Yeah, this one came out in the early 70s. I think 72 if I'm not mistaken. And it's about some college kids that while on some kind of expedition come across Abominable Snowman or Yeti, however you want to call it. Vinegar Syndrome put out this movie on Blu-ray. It is currently streaming, I think, on Tubi, Amazon Prime, and YouTube. I recently rewatched this, and it's one of those movies you're like, what the fuck am I watching? But it's definitely worth a watch. It is what it is. Shriek of the Mutilated. Check this movie out. It's still in print. It's a whole lot of fun. It's ridiculous. You get... the name of the song's called Popcorn. I can't think about the band that makes it, but it's like a recognizable song. It's music only, but dun 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 dun. Yeah. So that takes place at a fraternity scene. They have like a weird electrocution in a bathtub that just comes out of nowhere. But yeah, check this one out.
The sight of it will live with you or die with you, but you will never forget the shriek of the mutilated. The Abominable Snowman, the Yeti, or is it? A scientific expedition that turns into a nightmare for all but a few, with the surprise ending of the year.
Sometimes it almost sounds like something human.
Find anything out there?
Well, Dr. Prell thinks we might.
Oh, Prell's got a thing about snowmen. The trouble is that people believe that garbage of his can get themselves in trouble.
It's the damnedest thing, Ernst. If it isn't a Yeti, I can't imagine what it could be.
I could see it as it was chewing the flesh of Tom's leg.
Honey?
Stop treating me like a child!
Will you stop acting like one? Dr. Prowl brought you on this mission for a reason.
This is not for the weak. This is truly the shriek of the mutilated. Rated R.
So continuing with the Abominable Snowman, we have the late 70s Snow Beast. This movie was cool. I believe it was a made-for-TV movie. Bo Servenson, he was a Swedish actor, if I'm not mistaken. Big 6'6" tall guy. He was the second actor to portray Buford Pusser in the second Walking Tall movies. He was in a lot of things. I think he was in the original Inglourious Bastards. But he is a down and out ex-Olympic skier who takes a job at a ski resort. Clint Walker's also in here. He was like in the Dirty Dozen, and he did one of the soldiers for Small Soldiers, that movie from the 90s. That movie was a whole lot of fun. But it's pretty much a Yeti, and he's going around killing unsuspecting skiers. The lady who played Juno, the caseworker in the original Beetlejuice, is in here. I think she's the town mayor, and her son runs this ski resort. And this Yeti's going off killing people one by one. It's a whole lot of fun. The Yeti looks cool. It's creepy. It's more of a snowy version of Grizzly. If y'all seen that one, that came out around the same time, and it was a ripoff of Jaws. I think Grizzly was 76 or 77, but this one was a whole lot of fun. This Blu-ray is out of print, but this was a movie that was included in all kinds of DVD multi-packs. You can find it streaming on Amazon Prime, on YouTube, on Tubi, pretty much anything that streams these movies. But Snow Beast is definitely a fun time.
Welcome all of you to the Real Lodge.
This wasn't an animal. And it wasn't human either.
Why didn't you show them the jacket, Tony?
Gar, are you still a good marksman?
All right, I'm excited to talk about this next one because not a lot of people talk about it, and it's from the early 80s, and it is Ghost Keeper. Ghost Keeper has these three individuals, one guy and two girls, and they come across this abandoned snow resort, whatever it is, and it's not as abandoned as they think. They have this lady and her son that lives there, and they're quite mysterious. There's something going on. They're kind of stranded out there, and they have something evil lurking. This is a Wendigo horror movie, and it's not the traditional Wendigo. Like, this one came out much earlier than all the other ones, but Ghost Keeper is a whole lot of fun. It's a bit slower, but it's a cool little lost movie that not a lot of people talk about. Code Red had put out both a DVD and a Blu-ray. You might be able to find the DVD or the Blu-ray if you pay for a little bit of much, but it's also streaming on YouTube. You might be able to find it on Tubi. This one was directed by Jim Manichuk. Didn't do many films afterwards, but this one still withstands the test of time. So Ghost Keeper.
City folks always asking questions. Always gotta know everything.
All right, so the last movie on my list is going to be a made-for-TV miniseries that came out in the late 90s. And I remember watching this movie because it appeared over a 3-night course. And it's going to be Stephen King's Storm of the Century. This was a really cool movie, especially back then. And I recently rewatched it last year, and it still holds up. What it is that this demon comes to this small town. And at the same time, they're having their storm of the century. It's a snowstorm, ice storm. They're all locked up and isolated. And this demon is kind of killing people, making other people kill people. And he's there to get something, but it takes a couple nights to find out exactly what he wants. And he ends up getting it. This was not based off of a Stephen King book. It was an original script that he came up with. But it was cool. It always played like in the late 90s, the early 2000s. I think it's still streaming on Tubi. It came in a DVD multi-pack, and the DVD, I believe, is out of print, but you can find a copy of it at any used bookstore if you get lucky. So I definitely recommend this one. I'm not going to give too much away if you haven't seen that one, but it is a perfect, snowy, isolated horror movie if you're stuck in the house. So, Storm of the Century.
A storm is coming. The kind you can't prepare for. The last one of the century. It's bringing something with it. Something you've never seen before.
Give me what I want, and I'll go away. Refuse me, I assure you, I can punish.
For the first time ever, a Stephen King original, written directly for the screen by the master himself.
What could he possibly want?
Sure, we'll find out.
Only one man. Only one network. Dares to be this original.
Give me what I want, and I'll go away.
ABC is taking February by storm. Stephen King's Storm of the Century, February 1999.
So, that was 12 fun, snowy horror movies. Like I said at the beginning, I hope you all stay safe and that you don't get too cold. Please bring your pets inside. I hope none of y'all pipes break. I hope you all survive, because Bud Haddonfield loves each and every one of y'all. Make it through. We're going to make some more episodes. Don't freeze your booty off. And you all have a great time. This is The Last Video Store. I'm Bud Haddonfield, and I will see all of you next episode.
Michael Myers are the heroes on my past. Now the media is dying. Chucky and the zombies all up in cemetery. So bring me back those. I wanna come back to those times when all movies were so scary. I